Hey y'all, today I'm going to show you how to make the most delicious and moist Jiffy cornbread. Okay, you heard me, not cornbread, cornbread, because I'm from the South, and when it's real good, that's what I say, some cornbread. Now this is an easy recipe, and we're going to go ahead and get started with these ingredients. Now I have 2 boxes of this Jiffy cornbread mix because, hey, I want to make it thick, but we are not following those package instructions at all right? And I have 1 cup of sour cream. Now this sour cream gonna make it super moist and delicious. It'll also give your cornbread a little bit of tang, okay? For our wet ingredients, we're also going to be using 2/3 of a cup of whole milk. That whole milk has that fat you need for the moisture. Now, if you want buttermilk, you can, but really sour cream and whole milk is all you need. I have 2 tablespoons of brown sugar for the people, okay? But you can also use white sugar because I love everybody around here, all right? 2 eggs, of course, and we're also going to be using 1 stick of cold butter. This butter is straight out the freezer, all right? Now to get started, we're going to use that good old cast iron skillet because we know that makes the best crust. And I really like to use some butter flavored Crisco. It makes your pastries moist and it just tastes good and it's inexpensive. And I'm going to drop that into my cast iron skillet and set this into the oven as it's preheating. I have my oven at 350 degrees, so let's go ahead and get mixing this. In a bowl, I'm going to put the Jiffy cornbread mix. And as you can see, when it comes out, it has tons and tons of lumps. By the way, you can also use the vegetarian Jiffy if you like. It doesn't matter for this recipe. Now, we cannot keep those lumps, honey. Them lumps got to go because I don't want no lumpy cornbread. And I feel like I might lose my Southern Belle certificate if I let y'all make cornbread with all them lumps, okay? So whisk it really, really good until it is super smooth. It will also make our mixture easier to mix down the line. We're going to add our 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. But if you really like your mixture very sweet, you actually could add up to 4 tablespoons. But I got a little extra surprise coming at the end, so don't add too much right now, all right? Of course, I'm going to put in the rest of the wet ingredients, the whole milk, and now the sour cream, and I'm going to incorporate them until they're well mixed. Please make sure you scrape down everything so you don't leave nothing behind. Now, if you guys already think that I'm doing a good job with this recipe and you're enjoying this for your viewing pleasure, please go ahead and give me a thumbs up because not only does this let me know that you enjoyed this recipe, but it also helps me get these recipes out to more people. If you have a recipe suggestion, something you want to see me make, please go ahead and let me know in the comments and I'll see if I can do it for you, okay? Now, it's time to put our eggs in. And we got to get all these wet ingredients well incorporated before we put in that butter because I'm going to show you all a hack how you should be putting your butter in to your cornbread. And once you try this and you do it, child, you ain't never going to do it differently again because it makes such a difference in how it tastes. Now that our mixture is smooth, go ahead and get a grater. We are going to grate in that cold butter just the same way as if you were doing biscuits. Now, I learned this tip from my girl Stovetop Kisses. She's a phenomenal cook, and when I tried this, I was like, man, it changed my cornbread world. So shout out to your girl for this tip, and now I'm sharing it with you guys so y'all can be in on the secret too. Okay, now what happens is when you bake this, you're going to get little butter pockets in your cornbread. And when you eat it, you're going to have this little burst of this butter explosion. When you eat this cornbread, I'm telling y'all, it's going to be really good. You got to do this. If you take anything away from this recipe, got to be to put in the cold butter. Now just fold that in really gently. You don't want to break up the pieces too much. And at this point, we got to go ahead and get it ready to bake. Now, I decided that I want to add in just a little bit of honey. Now, this is optional, but you guys know that honey on cornbread, honey in cornbread is just phenomenal. So 2 teaspoons is all I use, and I worked that honey in, okay? Now, our cast iron skillet is ready, and you can see that shortening is nice and melted, and our cast iron skillet is hot. You need that heat to get that good golden crunchy crust that we want on our cornbread, right? If you must, you can use a glass pan to do this, but I really do suggest using the cast iron skillet because it does come out much nicer. Also, we are going to be baking this at 350 degrees for about 40 minutes. You be sure to check on yours so that yours does not over bake and then become dry. Now, of course, you got to check it, right? Here's how I check mine. Press down on it. If you got a little spring, to me, usually it's good. And I also go in there with a toothpick and I check to see if there's any left. You got to check yours because you definitely don't want it to burn. Do not cook this at 400 like those Jiffy instructions say, or you will get some burnt up cornbread, okay? Now, looky here. This looks real good, but we're not done. Okay, we're going to take it to the next level to make this cornbread, all right, something you going to want to throw down on. So I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of that extra honey. I'm only putting in about 1.5 tablespoons, and you want to incorporate it into that butter until it is well blended because, honey and butter on cornbread, if you ain't had it, you got to try this, all right? Now, we are going to now take this while the cornbread is hot. Now, you see me using my mitts. Guys, please use your mitts. If you don't know, cast iron skillets are super hot, okay? And you want to just brush that thing on, okay? Get it everywhere. Don't miss a spot. Now, this is that good cornbread. When they be asking you, hey, you gonna eat your cornbread? You can tell them, I sure am, honey. Okay, back up. Because this cornbread is so good. So good, you ain't going to want to share with nobody. I'm going to tell you right now, I ate about half this skillet worth. And I'm supposed to be on a diet. So, look, don't make this if you on one of them diets, okay? Don't make it, okay? Because you going to want to eat this up real quick. Now, I'm going to show y'all that nice crust on this cornbread. All right, look at that. You see that crumb? Now, I really ate that because, y'all, I could not wait. But that crust is crispy and delicious. And I served this up in a classic Southern style with some pot roast. And, guys, I'm going to show y'all that recipe coming up soon. I also added some garlic mashed potatoes. Put a little parsley on it. Trying to be cute, okay? And I did some buttered green beans with salt and pepper. If you want those recipes, subscribe and turn on the bell so you can be the first to get them, all right? I thank y'all for joining me today, and I'll see you next time in Camirra's Kitchen. Goodbye.